Whenever you folks are ready.
Everyone good? All right. Can we get your name, please?
Sure. So my name is Matt Clark. That's M-A-T-T-C-L-A-R-K, partner with Cohn and Stiles. And this is my client, Rick Geneau. Go ahead, Rick.
Rick Geneau.
You better spell your last name for him.
G-E-N-E-A-U.
And so, gentlemen, we're here today to announce some news in a case that I believe you all reported on approximately 6 months ago. This is a case involving the death of my client Rick's wife, Deborah Geneau. That incident occurred this past summer. It was on Stockdale Highway when a total of 4 vehicles were involved in an accident that claimed the life of Deborah Geneau. There is some news that's come out recently. The Bakersfield Police Department has completed its report. That report is 164 pages. The police department has spent the last 6 months reconstructing this tragic wreck in an effort to hold those who caused the wreck accountable. And as we reported to you 6 months ago, one of those drivers and one of the vehicles involved in the accident is still unknown. We haven't been able to find that person or that vehicle. And so we're reaching out another time to all of you folks who can then reach out to our community to try to identify this driver. In the police report, it's a driver identified as party number 1. We know that it was somebody driving a silver Nissan, and we've got photographs of that. These are still images captured from video surveillance off of a GIT bus. And us, as well as the Bakersfield Police Department, are reaching out to our community to help us identify the driver of that vehicle. We previously offered a reward for any information leading to an arrest. Today we're here to announce that we're raising that reward. It's in conjunction with my office, Cohn and Stiles, and my clients. And we're going to raise that reward to $7,500 for any information leading to the arrest of the driver of the gray Nissan. In addition to that, my office has filed a lawsuit. There are 2 other vehicles that were found to be at fault for this collision. We filed a lawsuit yesterday against those, the drivers and owners of those 2 other vehicles. And lastly, there was information in the police report relating to a potential witness to this accident. That witness was driving a gray crew cab Ford pickup truck. It's our understanding that the witness stopped at the scene and may have taken some photographs, including photographs of the gray Nissan. And so we're asking whoever that witness is to please come forward, and if they have information that may lead to the arrest of party number 1, obviously they would be entitled to the reward. And so those are the 2 things we're asking for today. We're here to answer any of your questions. And I know that Mr. Geneau has prepared a statement for all of you.
This witness, is this kind of a new development in the case, something that you didn't present to us at the last press conference 6 months ago?
That's correct. We didn't know about this potential witness until we received the police report. The Bakersfield Police Department identified this witness, and there's mention of it in the report, which you will all get, by the way. We'll be able to provide you all with a copy of the report, as well as digital copies of these images, okay, in case you need them. We also have the video that we can provide to you as well. But yes, in answer to your question, when we first came out 6 months ago to talk about this case, we did not know that there was a potential witness who took photographs at the scene. That's information we've only learned in the past week, and so that's why we're out today asking if whomever this person is, if they could please come forward, contact my office, which is 661-323-4000, ask for Matt Clark, or reach out to the Bakersfield Police Department. Rick, go ahead.
Rick, yep. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you folks have a
No, I
question?
have a question for Rick, but if you're going to talk, go ahead. I can ask afterwards.
I just wanted to go back over that, let everyone know that my wife and I met when we were at age 14, and we're in Santa Barbara, and we're in love ever since. We were married for 46 years, and I was just about ready to tell you her age, but I do not want to be struck by lightning, so we're going to skip that. And then we have one daughter, 2 granddaughters, and 1 grandson, and a wonderful son-in-law that she loved dearly. She had a talent for decorating our home, making it a warm home for everybody. Everybody that knew her loved her, and she had a love for antique shopping. Some of the things that I've come to miss about her, not being around, is every day going to work, being stopped at the front door, telling me to get back and change my clothes I didn't match. And so then when I got back, she'd give me that kiss goodbye and send me off to work and tell me to please make enough money for her spending habits. So we've had our first Christmas since losing her, a few birthdays. They're rough. The family's trying to move on, but by moving on doesn't mean leaving her behind. We're keeping her with us. So it's been rough for everybody, but that leads me to, again, reemphasize what Mr. Clark said, is that we are upping the reward to $7,500, and we're looking for the community's help in keeping their eyes and ears open. We'd also like to thank the police department for their investigation and time on this, and we're just really hoping everybody can stay looking for this vehicle and or any information regarding the accident. Thank you.
Last time we talked, Rick, it was still pretty fresh, obviously, and like you said, you guys are doing your best to move forward. But how frustrating is it? I mean, if you could just reiterate to the community, to somebody watching that may have been there that day, the person in the Ford, or even somebody else. I mean, a lot of people drive down Stockdale Highway. So can you just reiterate what this is still like and how frustrating it is? I guess what it would mean for this person that, from what I remember, actually caused the accident to be brought forward.
Well, I can't go there, and I don't know anything about the investigation myself right now. But yeah, it is frustrating when you look at some videos and you see cars stopped right in the back of the person that fled the scene. You don't have a license plate, and not fully. And it's frustrating, and some of those people don't know how important it is to get on the phone and reach out to my attorney and the police department. And just this community, I gotta just say, this community is a really, really good community. I've been on some apps and stuff, and the outpouring and looking. I mean, lots and lots of people are out there looking for this vehicle that they think is involved in it. So we have a great community. We're asking the community to keep it up for us and keep their eyes and ears open.
Just to reiterate, gray, late model, Sentra, Nissan Sentra, damage where on the vehicle?
Damage would be to the left front. At least that's what BPD presumes to be the damage. We haven't seen the vehicle, so we don't know for certain. I want to reiterate what Rick said. We believe in our community, and as part of this community, which I've been a part of my entire life, Rick has been a part of for a very long time, we hold each other accountable in this community, and it's something that makes us special and unique. And I know that there is a hesitancy sometimes for people to come forward, but holding people accountable is important, right? Letting a family get closure for a horrific tragedy, right, is important. And I would just implore anybody that has any information about the driver of the gray Nissan or the gray Nissan to please come forward. Contact our office or contact the Bakersfield Police Department. We'll be sure, George and I will be sure, by the way, gentlemen, to make you guys available with the number for the Secret Witness hotline, which anyone is welcome to call. I can tell you that when we came out 6 months ago, we got a lot of calls. A lot of people reached out. Unfortunately, none of those leads led to an arrest. And so we need more information. I would also mention that I firmly believe that the driver of this gray pickup, if in fact they took photographs, that information would be helpful. I also believe that that gray pickup truck did not contain the only other witness to this accident. There are other people out there who witnessed the events leading up to and including the accident. And if anyone has any information, regardless how minor they may think it is, it could be helpful to us finding one of the drivers who caused this accident.
And I'd like to also add, if I may,
Yeah.
the maybe if you'd like to, the location of the accident itself was on Stockdale Highway, and Don
Hart Drive. So for people that are familiar with that area of town, this event occurred right across from CSU Bakersfield on Stockdale Highway. It's the main entrance into CSU Bakersfield. On the other side of the street, you have businesses such as Moneywise and Finish Line Bicycle Shop. That's where this occurred. And so anybody who was in that area and witnessed events either leading up to and including the accident, we encourage you to please contact us or the Secret Witness Hotline.
Matt, where's the money coming from?
So it's coming out of Mr. Geneau's pocket as well as our firm. So this is there isn't it's just a matter of sort of Bakersfield history. There used to be a fund in Bakersfield that would it was a secret witness fund, in fact, that would support these things. As I recall, it was largely funded by a charity golf tournament each year. They obviously didn't do it last year because of COVID. And my understanding is that the fund is either totally out of resources at this point or nearly out of resources at this point. So we took it upon ourselves to put up the money. So it's in conjunction with the two of us.
Rick, I was just going to ask about this photo over here, the wedding photo.
Uh-huh.
Can you tell us who's in that picture?
Yeah, my son-in-law, that's the day they're married, to my daughter, and then my two granddaughters, and my grandson. It's about a 3-year-old photo there.
Though the police report's been finalized, that doesn't mean BPD has stopped looking. Can you kind of explain what that means?
Yeah, no, I fully anticipate that BPD will continue looking. If there's any leads whatsoever, they will follow those leads to their conclusion, right? But at this point, BPD has authored their report, all 164 pages, and they've sent that report and complaint package over to the district attorney's office, where they are requesting that charges be filed against parties number 2 and 3, the other 2 vehicles involved in the accident.
I would like to add one more thing, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since this accident has occurred, I've been paying a lot more attention to this town. The fatalities in this town is out of control, out of control. The speed limits, in my opinion, are too high. But there's just so many tragedies. Since I lost my wife, I'm aware of them. Drinking and driving is just terrible in this town. Speeding is absolutely out of control, and racing, texting. I was on the phone with Matt a few weeks ago, and he challenged me to stop at a red light or a green light and look at the people on my right and left and see if they're not on their text phones. Every one of them. Every one of them, every time. So hopefully the parents can talk to their kids and get some of them to be aware of the problems we have in this town. Rick,
if Deborah's passing was used as a catalyst for change, how important would that be to you?
Very important. Give it a lot of meaning. A lot of meaning.
Any other questions, gentlemen? We'll make the reports available to you if you have questions. Again, it's a lengthy report. A lot of it is accident reconstruction data, which may not have a whole lot of relevance to your stories. But you'll see just in the first, I don't know, 20 pages or so, you'll get the grand details. Rick's comment about texting and speeding and just general inattention behind the wheel really rings true. I mean, you've got a 19 and a 21-year-old. They're the drivers of vehicles 2 and 3, both driving well in excess of the speed limit. And that's hard data. I mean, this isn't something that is based on a witness saying that they were speeding. It's based upon science. It's based on data taken directly from the black boxes inside their vehicles, as well as data derived from speed from skid. And so, you know, it's a real plague on our community. I mean, you all drive out in our community, you see it on the public streets. The texting and being on the phone while you're behind the wheel has just gotten completely out of control. It is an absolute plague. I challenge most of my clients to do exactly what Rick did, and that is when you pull up to a stoplight, look to your right, look to your left. I will all but guarantee you on both sides you're going to have somebody on their phone. That's just the way it is. And, you know, I certainly hope that the Bakersfield Police Department, as they're getting more motorcycle patrol officers back out there, that we're going to start to enforce the law and get people to get off their phones, start paying attention, and start driving the speed limit.
Are BPD saying this was someone texting and driving?
No, we don't know that. We don't know that for certain. I mean, there are some things that happen that would suggest to you that there's a degree of inattention. I think this is more a case about speed in general. You've got both vehicle 2 and 3 well in excess of the speed limit.
The speed limit's high, it's 55.
It's 55 right there.
I'd like to also add something. I was having a conversation with Matt, and I believe this to be true, correct me if not. I was asking him about, do we have an extreme amount of accidents in this county or city? And brought to my attention, we're ranked number 2 per capita as far as fatal accidents. I believe that to be correct.
Yeah, that's definitely correct as it relates to impaired driving deaths in our community. We're the second worst county in the entire country. That's a disgusting thing for us here locally. It's an embarrassment, really. As a community, we're better than that. We shouldn't be the second worst county in the country. The second most likely county in the country to die in an impaired driving accident. That's where we live. So, again, this case, there's no evidence of impaired driving, but it all relates, right?
Yeah,
Speed.
when you have somebody fleeing the scene, you know, it's a
You don't know.
possibility.
You certainly don't know. I will tell you that the Bakersfield Police Department, if we find this driver of the gray Nissan, they are recommending felony hit and run charges as well as vehicular manslaughter charges.
Do you know what sort of sentencing that carries?
It just depends. Depends on how it's charged. It depends on how it's pled. My understanding, it could be anywhere up to and including 12 years. Anything else, folks?
Caesar? Right on.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, guys.
I'll send you guys a link where you can view and download the surveillance video, the photos.